Hello students, this is Girijesh Kumar Mal, lecturer in English in Sri Gandhi Vidyalaya Inter College, Pachramara, Raebareli. Dear students, today we are going to study the rest part of the lesson The Happy Prince by Oscar Wilde. In the previous lecture, we have learned much about the story. Today we shall continue the same chapter, same story, The Happy Prince. Dear students, we have completed up to here in the previous lecture. Now come to the start the next paragraph. Swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince. Far away across the city I see a young man in a garret. Garret, it means a small dark room at the top of the house. He is leaning over a desk covered with papers, and in a tumbler by his side there is a bunch of withered violets. Just I have told you that garret is a small dark room at the top of the house, and withered it means worn out. Violet is a kind of flower. Now here the happy prince is telling the swallow about his second work. He says that far away across the city I could see in a small dark room at the top of the house a young man is sitting on a desk on which the papers were spread all over, and he was trying to work hard. He had a glass lying near him in which withered flowers were lying. Clear? Now come to this line. His hair is brown and crisp, and his leaves are red as pomegranate, and he has large and dreamy eyes. Pomegranate is a fruit. Further, the happy prince gave a description of that boy. He said that his hair were brown and crisp, which meant that he had not taken bath for a long time. His lips were red like a pomegranate, and he had big, dreamy eyes. That means this boy was very ambitious and hardworking. Clear? Now, he is trying to finish a play for the director of the theatre, but he is too cold to write anymore. There is no fire in the grate, and hunger has made him faint. Here, faint it means weak. Grate it means a fireplace. Grate. Clear? Further, the happy prince said that this boy was a writer and needed to finish writing a play. He had to give the play to the director after writing, but he did not have strength to write anymore because he was feeling very cold. The boy had no money, that's why there was no fire in his fireplace, and he was very hungry also, due to which he was feeling very weak. Clear? Come to the next paragraph. I will wait with you one night longer, said the swallow, who really had a good heart. Shall I take him another ruby? The swallow understood what the happy prince was trying to tell him. He knew that happy prince wanted to help that boy, so he agreed to stay back for one night more. And further, the swallow asked the happy prince if he should take another ruby stone to give it to the young playwright, just like he had given it to the old lady. Alas, I have no ruby now, said the prince. Prince said that it was very sad that he did not have any more ruby stone with him. My eyes are all that I have left. They are made of rare sapphire, which were brought out of India thousands years ago. Pluck out one of them and take it to him. He will sell it to the jeweler and buy food and firewood and finish his play. Dear prince, said the swallow, I can't do that. And he began to weep. Happy Prince said that now he had his eyes, which were made of very precious and rare sapphire stones, which he had bought thousands of years ago from India. So Happy Prince told Swallow to take out one sapphire and give it to the boy, and he began to weep. This swallow was very sad to learn that the Happy Prince wanted to give his eyes to that boy, and it started crying. It told Happy Prince that it could not do that. Clear? Now come to the next paragraph. Swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince, do as I command you. So the swallow plucked out the prince's eye and flew away to the student's garret. It was easy enough to get it, as there was a hole in the roof. Through this he darted and came into the room. The young man had his head buried in his hands, so he did not hear the flutter of the bird's wings. And when he looked up, he found the beautiful sapphire lying on the withered violets. Actually, swallow refused to pluck out the the sapphire from prince's eyes. But the Happy Prince ordered the swallow to do what he had told it to do. So finally, the swallow took out one sapphire out of the prince's eye and flew it to the young man's garret. There was a hole on the roof of the room, so the swallow entered the room through that hole. The boy was sitting with his head on his hands, and that's why he did not hear the flutter of the bird's wing. And when he looked up, he saw the sapphire stone lying on the dried flowers. Clear? I am beginning to be appreciated, he cried. This is from some great admirer. Now I can finish my play. And he looked quite happy. Appreciate, it means to praise. When the boy saw the beautiful stone, he felt that some person who praised him had sent a gift for him. So he thought that with this he could finish his play. The next day, the swallow flew down to the harbor. Harbor, it means seaport. He sat on the mast of a large vessel and watched the sailors working. I am going to Egypt, cried the swallow, but nobody minded, and when the moon rose, he flew back to the Happy Prince. Actually, next morning, the swallow bird flew down to the harbor and sat on a mast of a ship. He spoke loudly that he was going to Egypt, and when it was night, he flew back to Happy Prince. I have come to bid you goodbye, he cried. Swallow once again told the Happy Prince that it had come to say goodbye. He was going to Egypt. No. Swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince, will you not stay with me one night longer? Once again, the Happy Prince requested Swallow to stay with him for one more night. It is Winter, answered the swallow, and the chill snow will soon be here. In Egypt, the sun is warm on the green palm trees, and the crocodiles lie in the mud and look lazily about them. The swallow said to the happy prince that the winter season had started and after some time it would start snowing. The weather in Egypt was warm and even the crocodiles lay on the mud lazily there. So he told him to let him go to Egypt. Then what happened? In the square below, said the prince, there stands a little match girl. She has let her matches fall in the gutter, and they are all spoiled. Now, here, this was the third assignment. The happy prince said that there was a match girl. She was a little girl, and all her matchsticks had fallen in gutter. Gutter, it means sewage, and got wet. All her matchsticks were spoiled. Clear? Now come to the next paragraph. Her father will beat her if she does not bring home some money. And she is crying. She has no shoes or stockings, and her little head is bare. Pluck out my other eye and give it to her, and her father will not beat her. How pathetic! How pathetic! Here the prince said that all matchsticks of the girl had fallen in the gutter and got wet. All the matchsticks were spoiled, so she could not sell them and she would not earn any money. And when she would go home without money, her father would get angry and beat her. For this reason, the girl was crying. Further, the happy prince said that she was not wearing shoes or stockings and she had not covered her head. She was very poor, so he said to the swallow to take out another sapphire from his eyes and give it to her so that her father did not beat her. How pathetic it. Dear students, come to the next paragraph. I will stay with you one night longer, said the swallow. But I cannot pluck out your eye. You would be quite blind then. Swallow agreed to stay with him for one more night. But he refused to take out another sapphire because if he did it, then happy prince would be blind. Swallow, swallow, little swallow, said the prince. Do as I command you. Again happy prince told swallow to do what he had ordered him. Then what happened? So he plucked out the prince's other eye and darted down with it. He swooped past the match girl and slipped the jewel into the palm of her hand. What a lovely bit of glass, cried the little girl, and she ran home laughing. Swooped, it means fly very slowly. So finally the swallow obeyed the happy prince's order. He took another sapphire stone from his eye and flew to the little match girl. And when he saw the match girl, he bent very low and kept the sapphire stone on the little girl's hand. The little girl was very happy to see the stone and she went home happily. Then what happened? Then the swallow came back to the prince. You are blind now, he said, so I will stay with you always. When Swallow returned to the happy prince, he told him that now he was blind, and so he would stay with him forever, forever. No, little swallow, said the poor prince, you must go away to Egypt. But the happy prince said to the swallow that he should go to Egypt. He should not stay with him now. He should go to Egypt. Now come to the next paragraph. I will stay with you always, said the swallow, and he slept at the prince's feet. But Swallow refused and said that he would stay with him only, and she slept on the prince's feet. All the next day he sat on the prince's shoulder and told him stories of what he had seen in strange lands. The swallow used to stay along with Happy Prince all the time and used to tell him the stories of different places that he had visited. Dear little swallow, said the prince, you tell me of marvelous things. Marvelous, it means strange. You tell me of marvelous things, but more marvelous than anything is the suffering of men and of women. And of women. There is no mystery so great as misery. Fly over my city, little swallow, and tell me what you see there. The happy prince said to the swallow to tell him wonderful things, but added that nothing was more wonderful than the suffering of people. No mystery was bigger than sadness. No mystery was bigger than sadness. And he wanted to know who all were sad in his kingdom. So he asked the swallow to go and let him know what he saw while flying over the city. Now come to the next paragraph. So the swallow flew over the great city and saw the rich making merry in their beautiful houses while the beggars are sitting at the gates. He flew into dark lanes and saw the white faces of starving children looking out listlessly at the black streets. So the swallow flew and took around over the city and saw that the rich people were living happily in their beautiful houses and they were partying while the poor people were begging. While the poor people were begging and sitting outside the gates. Then he went to the dark lanes where there was no light also, and the poor people lived in darkness. There he saw that the children were hungry, due to which their faces had turned white. Under the archway of a bridge, two little boys were lying in each other's arm to try and keep themselves warm. Further, the swallow saw two little boys under the archway of the bridge. They were lying much close to each other so that they kept themselves warm. They were so poor that they did not have food. They were trying to keep each other warm. How hungry we are, they said. You must not lie there, shouted the watchman, and they wandered out into the rain. These two children were starving and wondering that how happy they were. Just then the watchman appeared and scolded them. he shouted and made them go away from there. The poor children kept wandering in the rain as they were homeless. Dear students, come to the next paragraph. Then he flew back and told the prince what he had seen. The swallow went back to the happy prince and told him what he had seen in the city. I am covered with fine gold, said the prince. You must take it off, leaf by leaf, and give it to my poor. The living always think that gold can make them happy. The happy prince told Swallow that his whole body was covered with fine gold. He could take teeny pieces of gold from his body and give it to the poor people in need. In need. All the living beings required money, and when they would get gold, they would feel happy. Then what happened? Leaf after leaf after leaf of the fine gold the swallow picked off, till the happy prince looked quite dull and grey. Slowly the swallow took out the gold layers from the statue of the happy prince, and as he removed the layers of the gold, the happy princess statue started looking dull and grey. Leaf after leaf of the fine gold he brought to the poor, and the children's faces grew rosier, and they laughed and played games in the street. We have bread now, they cried. As the statue of the happy prince started looking dull and grey, the children grew happier because through it they were getting food to eat. Okay, come to the next paragraph. Then the snow came, and after the snow came the frost. The streets looked as if they were made of silver. Everybody went about in furs, and the little boys wore scarlet caps and skated on the ice. Everyone was wearing clothes made of fur. Small children were wearing red color caps and were roaming here and there. They were skating on the ice. The poor little swallow grew colder and colder, but he would not leave the prince. He loved him too well. Everyone was happy in their fur clothes, but Swallow Bird was feeling very cold. He kept on sitting near the happy princess statue. He did not want to leave him because he loved the happy prince. He picked up crumbs outside the baker's door when the baker was not looking, and tried to keep himself warm by flapping his wings. The bird did not want to die, so he used to go to the bakery where the baker used to bake the bread, to eat the bread crumbs, and tried to keep himself warm by flapping his wings. How pathetic it. Come to the next paragraph. But at last he knew that he was going to die. He had just strength to fly up to the princess soldier once more. The swallow was aware that he was about to die. He had only enough strength to fly back to the statue of happy prince, and he says, "Goodbye, dear prince," he murmured. "Will you let me kiss your hands? Will you let me kiss your hand?" Now, when the swallow was about to die, he said, "The happy prince that can I kiss your hand. I am glad that you are going to Egypt. At last, little swallow, said the prince, you have stayed too long here, but you must kiss me on the lips, for I love you. The happy prince thought that the swallow wanted to go to Egypt, so he said that he was happy that finally the bird was going to Egypt. Happy prince said to the swallow that it had stayed there for a very long time and now it should go to Egypt. It wanted the bird to kiss. It wanted to kiss its leaves instead of the hands because the statue loved the bird very much. Then what happened? It is not to Egypt that I am going, said the swallow. I am going to the house of death. Death is the brother of sleep. Is he not? And he kissed the happy prince on the lips and fell down dead at his feet. At his feet. The swallow bird said to the happy prince that he was not going to Egypt but to the house of death. He added that death was a brother of sleep. He kissed the happy prince on his lips and fell down to the feet of happy prince and died finally. And died. At that moment, a curious crack sounded inside the statue, as if something had broken. The fact is that the leaden heart had snapped right in two. It certainly was a dreadfully hard frost. As soon as the bird died on the happy prince's feet, an unusual sound came out from the statue. The sound was of the breaking of the statue's heart, which was made of lead. The heart broke because of the death of his beloved bird, beloved friend. But it is said that it was so cold that the heart broke into two pieces. Now come to the next paragraph. Early the next morning, the mayor was walking in the square below in company with the town councillors. As they passed the column, he looked up at the statue. Dear me, how shabby the happy prince looks, he said. The next morning, actually, the mayor of the city, along with his councillors, was taking a round of the area where the statue of the happy prince was erected. And when he crossed the statue and looked up at it, he said that the statue of the happy prince looked untidy. How shabby indeed, cried the town councillors, who always agreed with the mayor, and they went up to look at it. The councillors always agreed with whatever the mayor used to say. So they also asserted that the statue looked untidy. The ruby has fallen out of his sword. His eyes are gone, and he is golden no longer, said the mayor. Actually, the mayor noticed that the ruby stone which was placed in the handle of the sword was missing. The sapphires from the statue's eyes were also missing, and the layer of the gold from its body was also missing. In fact, he is little better than a beggar. Little better than a beggar, said the town councillors. The mayor said that it seemed as if it was the statue of a beggar, not a statue of Happy Prince, and the town councillors agreed with him. Then what happened? And here is actually a dead bird at his feet, continued the mayor. We must really issue a proclamation. Proclamation, it means order or rule, that birds are not to be allowed to die here. And the town clerk made a note of the suggestion. Actually, the mayor noticed that a dead bird was lying on the feet of the statue. Then he told the town councillors to pass an order that birds were not allowed to die. Birds were not allowed to die on the feet of the statue, and the town clerk made a note of the suggestion given by the mayor. Now come to the next paragraph. So they pulled down the statue of the Happy Prince, as he is no longer beautiful, he is no longer useful, said the art professor at the university. The art professor of the university said that now the statue of the Happy Prince did not look beautiful and was not useful anymore, and so they should demolish it. Then they melted the statue in a furnace. Furnace is a fireplace where metal are melted. So they melted the statue, which was made of lead, in a furnace. What a strange thing, said the overseer, it means supervisor, of the workmen at the foundry. Foundry is a workshop for casting metals. The supervisor of the foundry saw a strange thing. What he saw? This broken lead heart will not melt in the furnace. We must throw it away. The heart of the Happy Princess statue, which was broken into two pieces, was not melting in the furnace. So they threw it as it is in the dust heap. Clear? So they threw it on the dust heap, where the dead swallow was also lying. Coincidentally, it was coincident that they threw the heart of the Happy Prince where the dead swallow was also lying dead. Then what happened? Bring me the two most precious things in the city, said God to one of his angels. And the angel brought him the leaden heart and the dead bird. God asked one of his angels to bring him the two most precious things for the city. God asked one of his angels to bring him the two most precious things of the city. The angel brought the two pieces of heart, and the dead swallow bird. You have right chosen, said God, for in my garden of paradise this little bird shall sing for evermore, and in my city of gold the Happy Prince shall praise me. God said to the angel that it had brought the right thing. It had chosen the right things, which were indeed the most precious things of the city. He said that the bird would always sing in the garden of his paradise, and the Happy Prince would stay in his city of gold and admire him. Dear students, this was the story of the Happy Prince. The moral of the story is, please pay attention, the moral of the story is that we must help the poor and we must help the needy. The prince set an example of this by giving his jewels to the poor. This swallow also proved to be a great example of love, sacrifice, and friendship. Now, it is the turn of questions and answers. There is a first question and its answer. Why did the swallow not leave the prince and go to Egypt? The swallow bird did not leave the prince as it loved him. As the statue was blind, the bird wanted to remain with it. Now come to the second question. What is the conclusion of the Happy Prince? Actually, the story concludes with the swallow dying at the feet of the Happy Prince. The Happy Prince is also taken down when the mayor and the town councillors decide that he is no longer the beautiful. Now come to the third question. Describe the friendship between the prince and the swallow. The friendship between the Happy Prince and the swallow is one that is based on love and mutual respect. Mutual respect. Although the swallow needs to migrate to Egypt for the winter, but he is so drawn to the kindness. Clear? Dear students, now it is the turn of homework for you, and homework is describe this story in your own words. Dear students, I hope you enjoyed this story and learned from it. I will see you in the next lecture. So thank you. Have a nice day.